I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer, because you guys paid for all this. So
hello and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, hi, my name's Lena. I talk about some climate stuff, some fun clothes stuff, some frivolous stuff, anything that's in my brain. But today I want to talk about the bad boyfriend, Amazon. This is not going to be a video trying to persuade you about whether you should shop at Amazon or not. That's a different conversation. This is a video for people who already know the reasons why they'd like to move away from Amazon and are ready to do so. And I am so excited for you, my friend. It's kind of like when you secretly hate somebody's boyfriend for ages and they treat them like shit, and then finally they're like, I kind of want to leave. And you're like, I've already packed your bag, I've got a margarita, let's go. I do talk about books a lot on my channel, and one of my most commonly asked questions is like alternative services I use for Amazon in various different realms. So this is going to be a hub video for you to return to whenever you'd like if you're thinking, that thing is actually owned by Amazon, which so much stuff is, and that no longer aligns with my values and the way I'd like the world to go, and I feel able to do so. This video is generally going to be for people who purchase books in some capacity, but I will be covering stuff like Amazon Prime, and a lot of the advice that I'm going to chat about can also be applied to other appliances, but obviously I can't go through everything from like Hoovers to taps to groceries and tell you where else to get those things. But the point remains, not only in the book industry, which Amazon has frickin' destroyed, even over my like career, like I was in the publishing industry for like 8-9 years, I think, and over that time, like the changes and the things they implemented behind the scenes that obviously I can't talk about because of the big adult contracts were so scandalous that I couldn't believe the stuff that they could do to the publishing industry was legal. But just in general, like there was this report that I saw that an ex-employee talked about where they said from like a Friday to a Friday, the Amazon's actual goal was to destroy about 130,000 products that people didn't want. They're rather than just like living in a moral or immoral world and having that debate, because it's like, it's a business, this is what we do. I just think they're not living in a data-driven world. These are the uncalculated strategies of a madman. If you look at what is actually happening to the planet, this isn't to do with like what's best and what's a little bit naughty. It's to do with like, hi, the world is on fire, could you not stop putting all the products we already have as Kindling? Kindling, get it? Kindle, it was there all along. Obviously, I know that not everybody is going to be able to implement all of these things all at once. It's absolutely up to you. I'm just giving you the tools to do so. But bear in mind that luxury is an incredibly subjective word. And I think even through the course of my lifetime, I have really shifted from what a mindset that I've been conditioned to think that is like, I have the right to purchase things in a certain way and at a certain time at a certain price, to actually there's an incredible cognitive dissonance there for me, and I feel better when I can aligning what I buy with what I believe. And I do also believe that it will make a difference, obviously, but I don't think the argument that like, oh, you not buying from Amazon isn't going to make a big dent in their pockets, it's kind of missing the point. Anyway, sermons aside, let's chat about all the different ways that my life, I am not clean, I am not Saint Lena, have intersected with Jeff Bezos's life, and how they don't anymore, and how I found different ways to get the stuff that I love without putting the money directly in his pocket. Again, are all the businesses I'm going to talk about today completely sanitized, holier than thou, pure? Probably not, but this is big picture thinking, and objectively and subjectively in my professional and personal life, I see Amazon as the biggest business threat to at least the UK. That's what I know about. I know about the UK, and I understand that. We can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. First, Goodreads. A lot of you were surprised when I made my Goodreads video to learn that Amazon owns Goodreads and it uses the data, allegedly, to learn loads about customer behaviour and exploit that data in loads of different ways. So even though it feels unconnected, I can assure you that it is probably incredibly connected and there's also all the sticky ads as well. Anyway, not the point. The point is, a great alternative at the moment is the Story Graph. I know there's probably loads of other ones that will start and have started, but the one that I use at the moment is the Story Graph, and I have a whole video interviewing the founder up here. So have a little look if you want to move from Goodreads. There are many benefits for you waiting at the other end of that thing, and especially because you can download your Goodreads data as a file and then upload it to a new platform so you don't lose all of the history with Goodreads. It takes probably about 10 minutes to switch. Incredible. You can also just start using a spreadsheet system if you like. I saw this person who does an amazing book spreadsheet that you can copy and paste and use, and it's really like complex and amazing, so I'll leave a link to that below if you're interested in just like keeping track of your reading via spreadsheet. Or you could also get, oh my god, I didn't mean to put this in, but if it's really just for personal use and you keeping track of what you're reading, mini plug, my friend Sana has come out with a book club journal which you can totally just use for personal journaling as well, and it's got loads of hints and like ways to record your reading, which is really, really cute. Audiobooks. Wow, I have been on a walk through the desert to find an audiobook provider that I'm happy with that isn't Audible, because unfortunately Audible a long time ago was bought by Amazon, not their original company. They didn't build the business, they just own it now. Audible is a very like excellent interface. I can't argue with that. It also has some audio originals that are really great, and unfortunately a lot of the time Audible will back publishers into contracts where they can only provide a book to Audible exclusively. It's very annoying. However, the more we buy from other audiobook providers, the less argument there is for authors and publishers to get into exclusive contracts with Audible. If they can see that the market is big outside of Audible and they will lose out on sales by making something Audible exclusive, then they may not do it as much, which would be really good. And also, if you find an audiobook that you really want and it's only on Audible, it's worth like buzzing the publisher a line and not being rude, but just being like, that's really disappointing to me because I really wanted to buy that book and now I can't. Because when you see that 95% maybe of your sales in audiobook come from Audible, and then Audible are like, exclusive contract, we'll pay you a little bit more, you would go for that if you're only going to lose 5% of your sales. So I get it, but like, here are some other options. So Libra FM is something that is really widely available in the US and Canada. They are a social purpose corporation, and they do have in their business model benefiting physical bookshops, which is cool. They do a monthly subscription as well. What is annoying is that they're not that available in the UK, but I worked out a hack where if you buy a gift card from them with your UK account and then you spend the gift card, that's fine for some reason. So I've bought a lot of books on Libra FM, and their interface, I think, on a mobile app is the closest that I've seen to all of the functions that Audible has. So that's nice. The only thing that it is lacking is those reading stats. If you like keeping track of how many hours you've listened over the month or that kind of geeky stuff, unfortunately it doesn't have that, which sucks, but one day. Kobo have an almost identical offering. They have an audiobook app as well that's really, really good. Similar price to Audible, I think, and I did try it for a few months. However, the app interface is part of the ebook interface, so it's all like the same app, and the audiobook thing is really pretty, it looks really nice, but you can't put bookmarks in your audiobooks or put notes in it, and I absolutely refuse that as a concept. If I'm paying for something, I need that, sorry. So I much prefer Libra FM, even though it's more of a faff to actually buy the thing. However, you can also borrow audiobooks from your library, usually if you're in the UK. Did you know that? You can get like a library app and then just like rent audiobooks for free. My local one is called BorrowBox. A lot of libraries have agreements with BorrowBox, and you can just put in your library card number and then get audiobooks. Incredible. Ebooks. The bane of my freaking life. So I used to work in ebooks. That was like my first job in publishing, was in ebook sales, and part of my job was also to like fix and edit audio ebooks if they had an incorrect spelling mistake that somebody tweeted us about, or like something was wrong with it in formatting or hyperlinking. So I got to know ebook. Why can't I speak today? I got to know ebooks really well, and I used to have loads of fun getting PDFs or EPUBs, very quick geeky lesson in ebooks, ebooks is very, very brief. An EPUB is the original format for an ebook. It's like how it flows, and it's just like, that's what an ebook is. It's usually an EPUB file. A Mobi file is essentially the captive pastry around the EPUB sausage that Amazon created. It's basically a form of digital rights management, DRM, that wraps itself around an EPUB, meaning that it's locked. As a consumer, you can only do very limited things with it. That when you buy an ebook from Amazon, that is what you're buying. You're buying a Mobi file. It's usually .azw, and they basically have your balls in a vice grip a lot of the time. So I used to use a program called Calibra to unwrap and unlock a Mobi file and make it back into its true form, an EPUB file, so I could read it on any device that I liked, because of course I have bought the product, so I think I should be able to read the product in any way I see fit, because it is mine. It's kind of like buying a book and then locking you in a library and not allowing you to take the book anywhere or give it to anyone, and dictating like what kind of chair you sat in while you read it. That's the kind of like hostile environment I feel like ebook buying is for Amazon customers, and it's just incredibly annoying. I used to be able to convert them with Calibra, but since that time they have got really shit hot on their DRM, and unfortunately I can't find a way to do it. I was talking to the Gumption Club and they have lots of different ways that they do it, so I'm going to leave the links to that below. However, as a Mac user, it feels I would say I've spent upwards of 10 hours trying to work out all the different forums and weird programs and ways to do it, and I, for the life of me, cannot do it anymore, and that is incredibly annoying. I used Kindles for years and they die really fast and they break really fast. After having one or two new ones die on me and them not compensate me or sort it out, I started buying second-hand ones. And then when I worked at Penguin Random House, I was lent by the IT department an Amazon Kindle, because my job was like reading books before they were published, so I needed to be able to read them before they were printed. However, having left the publishing industry in August of last year, I bought myself a secondhand Kobo off Depop. I know. And I really love it. It functions the same pretty much as a Kindle. It has all the same features. I have no complaints. The only thing that it doesn't have is the hack that I talked about in my original 20s video that I love, that is like, you can convert a PDF to a Mobi file simply by emailing it to your Kindle and writing the word convert in the subject line, and it's such a good feature, and it really saved my ass during my university years. And so unfortunately in this circumstance, I would say if you're at university or you're somebody who uses PDFs and reads PDFs a lot in your academic life or in your job, annoyingly, Kindles seem to be a really good way to go. So get them secondhand if you can and have at it. I don't think that the world is going to crumble because students use Kindles. But now I'm just a normal layabout consumer and I just buy ebooks. Kobo has been really, really great for me. My only big regret is that I bought so many books on Amazon that I now can't access unless I read them on my phone app. So that is deeply irritating to me, but I guess I'm either going to just read them on my phone app or borrow them from the library and just, you know, get over myself. But if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have got sucked into the Amazon ecosystem and own so many books there. Another thing that's annoying about owning ebooks from Amazon is that, I'll leave links below, but they can just like void your account at any time if it's been hacked and you won't get any of your ebooks back. They kind of still own them. I'm getting sweaty because I'm so annoyed, but that's because Jeff is such a rubbish ex-boyfriend. Stop raising him, he is not your son. It just irritates me, as you can tell. Anyway, this is not the consumer's fault, but it is laughable to me that they like use this whole thing about how that we put the customer first when all they seem to be doing is making things like more annoying for the customer. That is a pub rant for a different day, Leena. Calm down. Anyway, finally, Amazon Prime. I was really, really avoiding getting Amazon Prime for a very, very long time, and I have a confession to make. During the pandemic, I did get Amazon Prime for a little bit because I wanted to watch this incredible show called Utopia. Now, I am in love with this show. I think it's one of the best shows ever made. Unfortunately, it is about a pandemic in which the vaccines are poisoned, for want of a better word that doesn't give you spoilers. So as you can imagine, I wasn't particularly ecstatic about talking about it during this. But one day I will make a whole video essay about how much I love that series. Anyway, the UK series only, by the way. The US series can get in the bin. Links below to a video essay about that. Anyway, where was I? Is this distracting you from your existential breakup tears from Jeff? Good. Okay, more rants. I got Amazon Prime because it was only available, also I thought, from Amazon Prime, because that's the whole sell of Amazon Prime, right? So I kept it for a few months because I wanted to keep like watching and rewatching some of the episodes from this series, and I just think it was like a masterpiece. And then I realised that for the price, I think I had it for 3 months, and for the price of me having Amazon Prime, I could have just bought it on iTunes. A lot of this stuff is just available permanently to buy on iTunes, and I have this consumer mindset that is like, oh, I need to pay for access to it, and I need to keep paying every month to get access to this thing that I love, when actually when I'm only consuming a small amount of things and I'm not really like a discovery person, I could just have owned Utopia. That's very annoying. Still stuck in an overlord ecosystem of iTunes, given, but at least I could just have unlimited access to it forever without having to repay. So that was a lesson for me, but I think it's worth bearing in mind that actually if you watch like, you know, 3 or 4 films a month, like I often do, and then I'll watch like my programs on Netflix or somewhere else if I'm feeling really like exhausted. Those things you can either rent, like I've just been renting stuff on YouTube for like, you can rent stuff for like £1.50, £2.50. So I've been renting loads of like obscure Meryl Streep films and stuff that isn't available on Amazon or Netflix. And I've been having a great time with that and spending around the same amount, like £6 or £7 or £8 a month. Maybe going through your like watch history and working out like what you just keep rewatching. Maybe you just want to buy that show or buy that film. And then another option, just for like the nerds among you, is that I have intermittently been getting access to Broadway HD, which is a Netflix but for like theatre shows and musicals. So I don't get it every month. I kind of like cancel it and then like get it if I want to watch something specifically. But they have a beautiful production of The King and I on there. They have The Last 5 Years. They have Billy Elliot the musical, which I've made a video about up here. So like sometimes I don't get the same kind of joy that I do from a film, even a film musical, than I do from watching a live stage show recording of something. And that may be niche, but that is what I feel. So when I really want to watch something, I watch Broadway HD, and I have just a better time, astronomically better time than the time I spent like browsing Amazon Prime and being like, do I care about this action show? Should I see this film because other people talk about it? No, I just want to get drunk and watch the car crash that is Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat a la the 90s. Oh my god. If I run out of ideas of what to do on this channel, I'm fully just gonna like drink some whiskey and react to that. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. It's totally fine if you don't want to do any of them, but maybe save this video somewhere to look back on at a later date when you do want to switch something, or you're like, oh, I can't remember what the like alternative service for that thing was. But as I say, this is a frequently asked question, so I thought I'd put all of those answers all in one little hub for you to have. Thank you so much for watching this video, and well done if you have, for escaping the toxic relationship with Jeff. This video, as are all the other videos on my channel, only made possible because of the Gumption Club. I want all of these videos for free for everybody to watch, but if you'd like to tip me for them in retrospect, that's what the Gumption Club is for. You also get access to a secret Facebook group, a weekly podcast, and when I have time, we also do like Netflix live watch-alongs where we like watch a film together and then we'll go on a live and like chat about it afterwards. It's very, very cute. It's very, very fun. If you want to know more about that, it's down below. My intuition is telling me that if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy some of these. So watch those if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on your journey. He never deserved you anyway. Frog's dog out.